Welcome back everyone, Blade here, and we're back with another video about Bond, this time being on his Earth spec. Now I've been testing out all the specs over the last day here, and one of the few things I can say is the Earth spec is insanely freaking fun. So before we go ahead and waste many of you guys' time, not only is Bond going to be worth the actual build, but this one might be a lot of fun for a lot of you guys to give you a ton of mileage. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video and show off what we know. Alright, so Earth Bond. Now this is a character that is very flexible, he's very fast, and it is absolutely opposite of how I thought he was originally going to play. After playing with him a lot longer and actually figuring out exactly how things do work with him, I have to say this is probably one of his most fun builds, hands down, seeing how easy it is not only to deal a ton of damage, but also how quick everything does work out for this character. So inside today's video, guys, we're going to go ahead and give him a little bit of a try, but let's explain exactly how he does work. Now my Bond is still at the P4 area. I have to exchange my next dupe, which is on, I think I'm like 5 off to get the P9. So technically he is P9 overall. And the character himself is really cool. I have him on the full Greedy Ruler set. This is the set that I still believe for all DPSs themselves. As for his gear, he is on the Fox Sin of Greed gear here. And I only have level 1 right now. I need to go ahead and go back to one of the shops and use my scissors to level it up to level 2 at least. But this one essentially is giving him the normal skill damage increase, and once you transcendence it, which I would advise a lot of you guys just to get it to the +5 area, which isn't really hard to do. I think it takes a 1.5 million gold every time you end up failing, but it's pretty easy to end up succeeding on it. If you go ahead and do it that one time, you get the extra crit damage bonus by nearly 16%, and you're going to want to use this. It's a lot. So for the weapon itself, the whole deal is to essentially get your berserker mode and literally just do that. Just spam your normal skill. This all starts off with his passive being Undying Physique, which each time the hero uses the normal skill while in berserker mode, it will increase the skill damage by 10% for 10 seconds. Now this can go up to 5 whole times, so the faster you spam it, the more skill damage you're going to get on off here. While in this effect, and if it's active, the hero's crit damage increases by 20% and his crit defense increases by 25%. So he essentially becomes tanky while giving you a ton more damage, which is really cool to see. Now the two skills that you're going to pay attention to is obviously going to be the special skill here and then the normal skill. I like to look at it here so they actually have it right there. But the special skill essentially is going to give you the critical chance by 25% for 20 seconds. You're usually going to use this first, and once you go ahead and use this, it does not stack. So although it says this little stacks thing here, it does not say that it stacks down below in the skill cooldown area. So I would suggest you to go ahead and save this for a little bit, use it during the 20 seconds, boom, hit it once, and then just go berserk on using the normal skill. So once you end up using your special attack, which is Rough Grind, you then want to start spamming your normal skill. At first, you're not going to be able to spam this because you're not going to be in berserker mode. So you're only going to be able to use it once. But if you do end up having the ultimate move, that's where things just change. Because once you use the ultimate move, it's going to reset your normal skill, which that's why I'm going to advise a lot of you guys to use your special attack again. It's going to reset that set normal skill and allow you to go into berserker mode. Well, inside of berserker mode, it removes this normal skill cooldown, and upon landing it 4 different times, it's going to enhance the normal skill again, dealing a certain amount of damage. This will help you out for the attack side, the crit damage side obvious by 30%, and if you utilize this while a person is on Earth Burst, it then increases the damage by 100% and restores your HP. So the character just gives himself HP back, he's able to deal a ton of damage, and that is the coolest part about him. So I'm going to give you guys a couple teams that I've been using. I think it's really good to go ahead and try out some of these guys because his teams I still want to try to figure out. So let's go ahead and just zip on over there and show you guys what I found out. All right, so the first team is going to be the generic team that you see a lot of people using. Really, it's pretty much just always going to have Daisy and Elizabeth in here. Mainly Daisy for helping you out with your magic charge, is giving you, as well as giving you some extra buffs, and then our Elizabeth helping us out with just sustainability. That's our whole deal. She gives the defense down as well, which is always great. And that is a cool thing with this character. Now the only difference here is we are using Earth Deanne on gauntlets. The reason for this is because she actually has a decent Earth burst. I know that some people are probably like, Blade, why aren't you using the Earth version of Elizabeth? Elizabeth's Earth burst doesn't burst as fast as you guys think it does. I tried to put a Earth set on her. I tried to at least put the burst set on her as much as possible. She did not build that up pretty quick at all. Now, probably with her engrave, it could change a little bit, but I highly doubt it because the amount of burst that she ends up getting off is insanely low. Now, she does give you a lot of bonuses for her Earth burst, which is pretty cool as well. If we go ahead and take a look at that real quick, she does give you a lot of bonuses, which is mainly going to go for people who already have her or have the enemy bursted, where if we can see this where it actually helps out your burst gauge. But upon hitting the enemy with Earth burst, then she's able to, of course, help out like our damage, which is always great. That's more of her being a side-by-side person. And I think the only time I would end up using Earth Elizabeth, which is another variant of this team, is if I'm still using Deanne as the main DPS. Only problem with this is, or at least the main burster, only problem with that is you would probably need to take out Daisy, because all she's providing to the team is technically that extra crit chance and some crit damage. You take that out and use for maybe a lane, because a lane is giving you a shield that's pretty darn strong, especially with the engrave, and I think that's what's going to keep you sustained. But if you're going to use that, you need to have a sustainer, which originally it doesn't have. But essentially with how this team does work, you're going to go ahead, do your normal stuff here, and I actually didn't accidentally mess that up. And I normally always pop this off, swap in with Deanne, make sure you get the burst. Then you swap in with your bond, press Q, press E. If you have your ult, you're gonna go ahead and use it, press Q again, and then just start tapping E. If you see this right here, you can immediately see the character's hitting 1.8 mil, 1.8 mil, and it's very consistent. Now keep in mind, this is versus an enemy that has no real resistance, which is why I don't like doing a lot of my showcases inside of the training area. But essentially you can see some of the damage that he's able to deal, and now my buffs have worn off, so now he's like hitting very low at this point. But he's able to deal some really good damage as long as you are having yourself buffed up. The enemy, obviously, you have a burst on them. Once that does happen, the character absolutely loses his mind and just starts dealing some insane damage, which is always great with him. He does pretty consistent damage overall. Just, I wouldn't advise taking this full number as the final product, seeing that this is an enemy with no defense reduction. But it's just pretty much just Q, pop that ult. It's going, well, QE, pop the ult to reset the E, use Q again if you want to make sure your your buffs and stuff are still up, and then just start slamming E. Now this team will keep you healed. This is the team I love the most because it keeps you healed. It is probably the better one that you're going to want to use, but of course I do understand that not all people do have a Daisy or even have an Elizabeth. So if that is the case, I have another team that you could possibly use, and this one is more going to have at least a Daisy in it still, but it's going to have a different sustainability option. So let's go ahead and check that out as well. All right, so now this time we are taking out Elizabeth in total here. We're using our Daisy, still giving us a little bit extra crit damage and stuff, as well as our crit chance, while using our lane. Now, the reason that we want to use a lane for this one here is because she does provide a decent bit of sustainability. This is going to be coming from not only her shield, but also from her engraving. But with the shield that we have here, obviously we're getting the additional damage taken decrease that's going to happen with our barrier. Obviously, if we go ahead and use the Saintess mark here, this is also going to be helping us out with the tag gauge, and it does make the bursting even easier. So if you think that you're not bursting very quickly with Deanne, you now have an extra person who can kind of help you out on making sure you're going to get that burst even faster. Pair this with her engrave here, which is going to allow you to get off more buff efficiency, a better barrier here, but now you get movement speed. And then whenever an ally is hitting an enemy with the reduced earth burst resistance, which you're going to be able to provide with your skills, your allied hero's defense is going to go up, making you even tankier, and your earth damage is going to increase up to a max of 16%, which can overall help that whole rotation for bond. Now, gear wise, don't follow this gear. This is probably not the correct gear at all. I mainly am just using it for the 3-piece here, which is going to be very helpful for our magic charging side. but she's going to keep you up on tag gauges as well, so that's going to be very, very helpful. So if you wanted to go ahead and use this one, which I would prefer a lot of you guys to probably use this if you don't want to use Elizabeth here, and oh my god, I'm screwing this up a lot today. Go ahead and do this hit, swap on in, and make sure you have your Saints marked. I don't know if I hit that again, so I'm just going to do it one more time. And as you saw, we got that burst very quickly. We're going to go ahead, pop the E, do this here, and just start tapping. Now this one itself, because my Elizabeth was P10, is a little bit lower on damage, which this is probably around the damage you'll probably see, like 1.2 mil, which is pretty decent. And I like that. At least you're still able to deal a ton of damage off of it, and it keeps you safe. It literally is going to keep you safe. So no matter what, as long as you have this shield on, which it will be a very tanky shield, you will be able to deal a lot more off this, which is always great. And then you still will be able to get the magic charge up too pretty quickly due to the sets that you're going to be running, which is just going to be you doing the same thing. So I'm going to run this team, and I'm going to show it off inside of a fight and show you guys exactly how it does perform. So let's get into another fight. All right, so we're doing Abyss ORGOT here, which obviously should help us out to seeing if this actually works as well. And I'm going to try the Deanne team with Elaine first, because this one is going to keep you pretty sustained. So that's always going to be great, and this is actually going to give you what you want to look for. So I think this would be perfect. But let's go ahead and do this here, and hopefully I don't screw this up this time. Yep, okay, there we go. Get the actual hit. We're going to swap. We're going to make sure the priestess is on, swap again, and at this point you can get up the burst that you need to get up here. So let's go ahead and get the burst up, hit the Q, E, and then once we do that, this is where we're able to do whatever we want and just keep slamming. Now this is what you should be probably around hitting itself when you're versus something that actually has, what's it called, that actually has some defense against it. So 300k, something like that. I do think you can easily get higher, because one, this is the wrong weapon, by the way. I know someone's going to probably correct me inside the chat. This is the wrong weapon. You don't want to use the Black Flame, because technically you're not going to be what's it called, proccing its actual effect. You want to go ahead and use the Lich Dragon Claymore. I find that one a lot better. Also, I did not reroll this at all, so you can easily deal way more damage than this. But essentially, it's just going to play just like that. You're going to have your shields. You're going to be able to do whatever you want to do there. And that is going to help you out in the long run when it comes down to some of the damage, while also keeping yourself sustained. Now, I'm going to go back in real quick just to show you guys the shield that you end up having. Granted, my Elaine is not built yet, so I can't remember if her build does matter for the shield though. So I'll have to check on that. If we go ahead and do this how we're supposed to, and just do this here, we have a decent bit of shield, but that does get stripped off. So although that shield can tank a decent bit, don't let it fool you, right? It is still helpful though, and it does take a little bit of a while to come back though. So I mean, like, it's overall a decent thing to still end up using, but you do have to understand that sometimes that can break pretty quickly. I do think it is reliant on her build though. So once again, double Q into this, in which I actually do hesitate quite a lot, and then just start slamming E. Just floor it. Just literally floor it. And anything you're in front, you're gonna kill. Now, he of course gets away for a second, but boom, he's dead. So I think this is a very fun build. It is just unga bunga 24/7, which is great. But before we end out the video, I'm obviously going to try out the other one, which is going to be with our Elizabeth. So let's go ahead and press try again real quick, and we're going to swap our team real fast and put Elizabeth in. Now you guys, you could use the Earth Elizabeth. Just really do keep in mind that if you're going to use that, it is going to be fairly difficult for you to keep yourself sustained unless you just get rid of Daisy. If you get rid of Daisy and probably use Elaine there, or maybe use TRA for the extra heals, you could do that. But I'm unsure if you really want to do that, because I do like making sure I have my crit rate and crit damage in order, which is another reason why I prefer using Daisy in the background still. Plus, of course, she still does help you out with getting everything that you do need. But as you can see here, and we ended up missing our stinking lovely little move there that would have helped us get our burst off a little quicker. What I'm gonna do, let's swap again. Oh, dude, I don't even have enough to get the swap off, but let's do this here. Swap, boom, boom, and actually I did that the wrong way. And now let's just go back in here. Now, if we take 80 damage, we still have our small shield, but like with this one at least, and yeah, this is way lower just because I freaking got slapped out of my rotation, but we won't lose any HP if we use the Elizabeth one. So it's honestly up to you which way you want to go for it or which way you would like to use for this set. I'm personally playing very cautious, so I always use my Elizabeth for it. Plus, of course, since she is duplicated, I'm getting the extra attack out of it. But if you did want to go ahead and just keep yourself with something that is very helpful for earth related damage, I would definitely go with the Elaine here. So let's just go ahead and slap again, pop this on off, boop, 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 and see if we can get this off here. And of course, you slap us off for a second here, in which I might can actually get this back up again. So swap in, slam down to get the burst. Okay, cool. Boom, boom, and then let's do these again. Boom, and just start slamming now. This one still does just as much. If anything, actually does a little bit more when you don't get blocked, which is always great. But still, just depends on what you feel like is better at the end of the day. But hope you guys enjoyed and did enjoy the video. I swapped my words for a second. If you did, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did hide a couple codes in here, so have fun finding those on out. And then till the next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp. Peace.